winner, go get a top roller. Your moves make more sense when you're rocking with Fola. I'm rocking with Fola cause I handle my financials. I'm rocking with Fola cause I handle my financials. Fola, you can tell him money, hola. And I can see it coming cause I'm rocking with Fola cause I handle my financials. I'm rocking with Fola cause I handle my financials.
Hey, aren't you the people's CPA?
Yes, I am.
Awesome, because I'm the people and I have a couple questions.
Okay.
You got a moment?
I got you.
Awesome. So, I'm a new entrepreneur and starting off my business, I'm learning so much about fines and different cuts, and it's a lot of information. Is there anything that you could offer me as advice for any entrepreneur like myself?
Yeah, so when starting a business, there's so many things for you to think about, which is why I highly recommend you speaking with the CPA and attorney at the start of your business just to make sure that you are on track to stay in compliance. Because when it comes down to tax filing or how to grow a business, your entity structure and your tax election does influence what you can save and how you can grow your business as well. So for example, if you are looking to get investors in the future, maybe getting a C corporation may be the best entity for you. If you are going to operate as a sole proprietor for the majority of the time, you'll be filing a Schedule C, but once your earnings, your net earnings specifically, starts to exceed $40,000 or more, you probably want to go ahead and elect S corp taxation status. So again, just depending upon how much you make, the different factors of your business, choosing the right entity is very fundamental for you to make sure you got prioritized.
Okay. Now, between me and you, because you for the people, right?
Yes.
So, what's T? How can I maximize my savings?
Yeah, so when it comes down to maximizing your tax savings, because we all want to do that, you want to make sure that you are properly expensing every expense that is both ordinary and necessary.
What is ordinary necessary?
So ordinary necessary meaning that the expense is ordinary in your line of business. So if I'm an accountant, expenses that are ordinary include things like my laptop, a calculator, software expenses, the cost of having a team, staff, employee expense. What's not ordinary in my industry is if I went out and bought a truck. You know, I mean, unless I was transporting computers to my office, but in my industry, having a truck is not an ordinary expense. Necessary means that you had to incur that expense for you to make some more income. So meaning that if I didn't pay for this, I would be hindered in pursuing income. So now what's necessary? For example, if I have to travel to meet a client, well, guess what? My miles or my gas paid is going to be an expense because I needed to incur that to go get to the bag, right? So that's pretty much what that means. And again, in order for you to properly save in taxes, you want to make sure you're maximizing your expenses, but then also figuring out which tax loopholes, tax credits you may also be eligible for.
Okay. So let me ask you something, because I know the people want to know. What are some of the mistakes that are commonly made with new entrepreneurs, business owners that you can help us from making?
Yeah, so one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of entrepreneurs make is not knowing when their tax filing due date is. The thing is, if you miss your tax due date, you are now going to be subject to a late filing penalties and also interest if you owe. To avoid that, you want to make sure, again, you're checking with your CPA in regards to what your tax due date is. And if you do get slapped with a penalty, good news. If it's your first time having a penalty due to late filing, you can call the IRS and ask for penalty abatement.